popularity of GT3 racing around the world has exploded in recent years. Europe, Asia, the United States, you name it, all see some of the biggest GT3 championships visit them. And now, North America has one more. Yes, Imsa is adding yet another GT3 base class under their umbrella, but it's going to be a little bit different from the GT3 base classes that they're currently running in the WeatherTech Championship. In fact, this will be run in a completely separate series, and run as a support series race on WeatherTech Championship weekends. Yes, Imsa recently announced that they would be adding GT3 spec cars to the VP Sportscar Challenge. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is the VP Sportscar Challenge? Well, it's a series that has seen a ton of changes in recent seasons and is vastly different from its days when it was known as the
Imsa Prototype Challenge.
As recently as 2022, the series consisted of just LMP3 machinery, running in endurance-style races ranging from 1.5 hours to 3 hours long. The series was doing alright, but it often struggled to put out consistent large fields with the endurance-style racing that required a pit crew and also usually a second driver. Imsa recognized that this series could use a bit of a change, and in 2023 it was renamed the VP Sportscar Challenge. It wasn't just a name change that they made though. The changes also included a format change, switching from those 1.5 hour to 3 hour long endurance races to a 2 race per weekend sprint format. By changing to 2 45-minute sprint races in a weekend, it meant that you no longer needed a pit crew to go over the wall and change tires. You no longer needed a second driver that you would have to swap out mid-race. But a huge addition also came to the series, as GT4 machinery was made eligible to run in the series under the new GSX class. This now meant that the series featured multi-class racing with those LMP3 prototype cars, and the same GT4 cars that were already competing in the Michelin Pilot Challenge would be together on track racing at the same time. And these changes have been game-changing for the series in the 2 seasons since they were introduced. The VP Challenge races now see consistently healthy car counts, and the series is evolving into a key stepping stone on the Imsa development ladder. 2025, we're going to see yet another huge addition to the series, as the GT3 spec cars will be added to the series in a new GTDX class. And this new class is going to accomplish a few key things for Imsa. First, it's going to provide drivers and teams who are looking to compete in a GT3 sprint race format a place to do so. Previously, the only way to compete in GT3 machinery in Imsa was to race in the endurance-based WeatherTech Championship, which is a very large commitment to do an entire season of. And secondly, it also provides somewhat of a pressure release valve for the WeatherTech Championship grid. Every year, more and more teams and drivers are expressing interest in racing in Imsa, especially in those GTD ranks. But with the WeatherTech grids being virtually maxed out for every race weekend, there haven't really been any alternatives for these entries that are being turned away from the GTD class. This GTDX class now provides that. It provides a place for drivers to race their GT3 machinery in an IMSA-sanctioned series, and it also provides a great introduction to a true multi-class racing environment. Because let's not forget, after all, for a driver to jump from maybe a GT3 only based series up into the WeatherTech Championship, where you're not only racing your fellow GTD class drivers, but also GTP prototypes are flying by you at a rapid speed, it can be quite a lot. But this is now going to give GT3 drivers an opportunity to learn some of the ins and outs of this multi-class racing in the sprint race format. From a fan perspective, I also think this is a great addition. If you're watching from home, then it's just another great series that you're going to be able to tune into on a race weekend. And it's an opportunity for you to see some of the sport's up-and-coming stars sort of cut their teeth in this multi-class format. Of course, if you're at the track, then this is just another support series that's going to have a strong grid of cars. And nobody's going to complain about more good racing on track in a race weekend. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I remember sitting at CTMP and watching this old Imsa Sportscar Challenge series go around the track with maybe 8 LMP3s out there for this couple hour long race. Things have come a long way for the series since that time, just a few seasons ago, and ultimately it's going to lead to an even better better fan experience at the track. The schedule for the series is absolutely nothing to sneeze at either. For the upcoming season, they're going to head to Daytona International Speedway, Circuit of the Americas, where they're going to actually support the NASCAR race weekend. They're going to Mid-Ohio, they're going north of the border to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. They're heading to VIR in late August, and they're rounding out the season at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, some iconic tracks on this calendar. And at the time that I'm recording this, there's also already been some big name teams and drivers that are confirmed to enter this new GTDX class. Samantha Tan and her team, Samantha Tam Racing, will be on the grid with their BMW M4 GT3. She's of course well known for competing worldwide in GT3 and GT4 based classes, and actually got the M4 GT3's first victory in competition. GMG Racing and Kyle Washington, who's a regular competitor on the GT World Challenge Americas circuit, is also going to be coming to the class. Plus, current Imsa WeatherTech Sportscar Championship team Conquest Racing has confirmed that they will be entering 2 part-time entries for the father-son duo, Dave Musial and Dave Musial Jr. Yes, the VP Sportscar Challenge looks set for even more growth in the coming seasons with the introduction of this new GT3 class. But they're not the only support series you should be watching out for. The Mazda MX-5 Cup is one of my favorite IMSA support series, and you can learn all about it right here. Huge shout out to all of the channel supporters. If you too want to support the show, you can head to patreon.com/offinthes or click that join button below. Once again though, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great race weekend and doesn't go off in the S's.